Louisiana Beer Reviews 8 Bud Light. This video beer review is being done in response to a request that was made. Someone sent me a letter and asked me would I do a Bud Light review, so that's what I'm going to do. In 1982, Anheuser-Busch Brewing Company introduced Budweiser Light, now known as Bud Light. It has been incredibly popular. It's the world's #1 selling beer now. It didn't replace, but it superseded in popularity the original light beer put out by Anheuser-Busch called Natural Light, which came out in 1977. Also extremely popular beer. Bud Light has 4.2% alcohol, so it's light-bodied, low alcohol. On Beer Advocate, it gets very poor ratings, D- right now, average. Rate Beer doesn't like it either, nor does The Beer and Me. That's understandable because most of the people that do beer ratings or reviews online tend to be craft beer enthusiasts. They prefer richer beers with much bolder tastes that don't really appeal to most Americans. Most Americans just drink in a very casual way. They're not that interested in exotic tastes. Bud Light apparently fits the bill. It's the world's best-selling beer. Bud Light and Budweiser together on any given day make up the majority of the beer drunk in America. Think about that. Most of the beer drunk daily is Budweiser or Bud Light. So Anheuser-Busch obviously knows what they're doing. They're meeting the demand. You're going to see Bud Light sold at a relatively expensive price, usually about $18 a case. They can get that because there's such a demand for the product. Bud Light is made with water, barley malt, yeast, rice, and imported and domestic hops. As we know, Anheuser-Busch is going to use top-notch ingredients. They're not going to cut corners on the recipe. They're not going to cut corners on their quality and consistency standards. They've never done that. That's why they have been the #1 selling, the #1 beer company in the United States since 1957. You may not like what they do. Most people, however, do like it. I don't think we serve any purpose disparaging people, cutting them down because they don't have exquisite beer tastes. If they like Bud Light, if they like Budweiser, more power to them. I have to respect that. I respect Budweiser and Bud Light for that matter. I have not in the past given Bud Light good ratings. I gave it very poor ratings on these internet rating sites. However, I do want to be open-minded today. I want to be fair with the product. I want to forget about all the past ratings. I'm going to rate it as is, and we're going to see what happens. So on with the review. Here's a can of Bud Light. We all have seen this a million times. This truly is the king of beer for the world. It's the world's beer champion. 16-ounce can, very common, of course. You're going to see Bud Light sold in any kind of variety of cans packaging. If they make it, Bud Light's in it. So here we go. Cracking it open. Don't see any smoke, so I don't know about that. Give it a nice pour here. You know how these American style lagers are. They got such a charge in them. They're highly carbonated, so they're going to overflow if you're not careful. Thick white head, which you're going to always see. American style lager, light lager especially. Super clear color, super clear appearance. Very light straw color. Bubbles streaming up the glass. And anybody that's drunk beer knows what to expect here. The aroma, quite subdued, faint, not non-existent. You can detect some sweetness. What is it? Is it grain? Hops. It's not hops. You can smell water. I don't know. There's some kind of mild smell. Is it a bad smell? It's not a bad smell. You may call it a light beer smell. But there really isn't much aroma, okay, to speak of. Which is not necessarily a bad sign, because some beers have a bad smell. I see so many people drinking this beer. They love Bud Light. They're so loyal to it. They would never entertain the idea of drinking anything but this. This beer, to most beer drinkers in America, is synonymous with heaven. And if it's not Bud Light, of course, it's Miller Lite, Coors Light. We know this, okay? Let's try it. Some sort of grain, I don't know, water. You're not going to detect any type of distinctive taste here because it's meant to be bland. It's a diet beer. That's why they came out with this in 1982. You know, Miller Lite came out in 75 because you started having the diet soft drinks, Tab and Diet Right. So they're not known for being particularly tasty. One is reminded of mineral water when drinking this beer. Is it a bad taste? It's not a bad taste. It's not an exciting taste. It's flat. I don't mean it's flat carbonation wise. The taste is flat. It has little to no character. Can I see? Of course, I can see why people drink this because it's smooth. It presents no challenge. You can go to the bar, you can drink and drink and drink and drink these beers, and you'll get somewhat drunk, I suppose. It doesn't take any adjustment to drink this. It's gonna go well with any food. You have just a slight, mild, faint hop underbody. When you're gonna have some hop to it because it has to have some bitterness to round it out. But the bitterness is almost infinitesimal, or whatever the word is. I should know these words. But anyway, is it a D? Is it bad? You know, the can says superior drinkability. Well, it certainly has superior drinkability, much like water. You know, you can drink water and just keep on drinking it. It's not going to fill you up. It's very low calorie. When we compare this to all the other beers made in the world, it's going to get a low rating because it's just not that. It's not an interesting beer. Would I buy this again? No. I bought this can today because somebody requested that I do the review. Do I hate this? I don't hate water. I don't hate mineral water. I don't hate this. But I like to drink beer because I like the exciting tastes of beer. So this does not fit the bill for me. If you enjoy it, fine. I could go along with a C or a B for what it is. If I'm looking at light beer in the light beer world, by golly, it might be an A. Maybe it's an A as far as light beer goes. If you're a light beer fan, this might be a B plus and A. If you're a regular beer fan like I am, it's not a good rating because it's not what we're looking for. Am I going to rip the beer and castigate people that drink light beer? No. The only argument I ever make is simply this. Light beers, Bud Light, Miller Lite, Coors Light, Miller High Life Light, they're which I don't think is made anymore, by the way. It's been replaced by the Miller MGD 64. But their taste profiles are so similar that if you're going to drink light beer, and if you want to, that's great. And you can detect the sweetness here, really. But if you're going to drink light beer, I'm recommending just buy for price only. If you see Schaefer Light for $11.99, it's going to be made with high quality ingredients too. It's not going to be that different from what you're drinking here. Or Milwaukee's Best Light, or Old Milwaukee Light, or Pabst Light. They're going to be so similar. So if you're buying light beer, I'm going to say just go for price. You're going to get the same taste. Maybe you'd be embarrassed because you brought the Schaefer Light to a party and you think people are going to think you're cheap. I wouldn't say you're cheap. You're probably just smart. But that being said, that's the rating. For beer as a whole, it's poor. But for what it is, light beer, I'm going to say it's fine. I mean, I don't even know how to rate it. I'm just going to say I don't like light beer, okay? I don't hate it. I don't like it because there's no taste to it. It does have some nice lacing, though, to tell you the truth. So it's very light body. It's crisp. It's refreshing. It has a fine mouthfeel. There's nothing offensive about it. If you like it, you should keep drinking it. I'm going to end this review now, and I'm just going to say, y'all come on down to New Orleans. Thank you.